Thanks, Honorable Sols.
Thank you.
Your time ends at 23 minutes past 11.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Minister, as a retired general, former minister, and for your sacrifice in the struggle, I want to say thank you for your service.
Thanks.
And for your sacrifice.
Thanks.
I have no bias. I will ask you questions based on your submitted evidence and also the testimonies that we've heard thus far. General, when I questioned Minister Mchunu, I used Socratic irony to test the truth in his testimony, whether he actually applied his mind before he made the decision to disband the PKTT. After putting the facts of his evidence to him that shows all the reasons that could possibly support the conclusion in his letter that the PKTT no longer added value to the police service in South Africa as a whole, he defended the PKTT on every single fact I put to him. This now showed that based on his testimony, it is not the work study or the budgetary issues that actually caused him to conclude that the PKTT must be disbanded immediately. So the question is, what truly motivated him? What's left is the allegation of General Mkhwanazi that the reason is because the minister is protecting drug cartels. Well, thus far, there has not been substantial evidence provided to prove that allegation, especially since the main witness, General Mkhwanazi, testified that he can't say that the decision is unlawful. He can't say that for a fact. He also testified that he can't say that Minister Mchunu and General Sibiya is actually corrupt. Therefore, we must still probe more witnesses to try and get to whether or not his allegations are true. But General, on the day, I was convinced that there is a third possibility. For now, I can only call that possibility the minister's conviction. There's something deeper that he's not telling us. There's something that he knows. I don't know yet what exactly it is. The best I could do was to tell him to stand by his conviction, even if it goes against public opinion or risks his position. I told him to put South Africans first. But today, hopefully, your testimony will assist me to get one step closer to the truth. General, you were the Minister of Police when Nathaniel Julius, a Down syndrome little boy, was brutally shot and killed by police. After 4 years, there's still no justice for Lokis. General, is the reason for this because there's corruption in the police and the judiciary?
Chairperson, good morning, Honorable Member. Chairperson, I was asked if Mkhwanazi is the first one who made the allegations against the system, not just the police. And I said he was not the first one. Actually, the first that I know was a judge, Judge Tulare, and I read the judgment of how high does it this one goes when he says even the decorum of the courts and the judicial officers cannot be saved on the 28 and mobster gangs, I'm sure, and others and all that. So it does look like, okay, and the latest discussion, I'm sure you have seen it, of the judge and the bribe of the Mulife emulife bail. So these things are there, people talk about them. Maybe somebody needs just to come with it and say, here it is. So I would not sit here and deny that corruption on the chain does not exist. But I would not come to you and say, here it is, as a system. But I would come and say there are individuals. For instance, there are police officers that are in prison. There are prosecutors that are in prison. So there are individuals, but is it the system itself? Are the individuals that running? So that's what we need. That's what we need to make. But specifically, the young man that was shot and the police claimed that it was an accident. I guess I need to be helped. The matter is in court. I need to be helped on that one.
Yes, General, the initial judge fell ill, and then the whole case had to fell ill and passed away, and then the whole case had to be started over. And the last time it was heard of about the matter was late 2024. And so now it is still continuing, but there's not real solid feedback on the matter. But it is still in court, but there's no real feedback as to how far it is.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't know, except that the community of elders did raise the issue about the police in that particular area, the station commander, and that community has been at that station many a times knocking and saying, take this police away, take the commissioner away of the fundamental thing here. No matter what about you, once the community loses the trust on you, you become almost useless. And whether you are corrupt or not, but when the community says you can't be part of us, and that's a problem. But the police themselves will argue to say, look, we have done our work, and it is on the second segment of the system, which are the courts now. That's why I did, and I want to do again, to say this kind of probe must help us to look at the chain, honorable member, rather than looking. And up to this point, I'm still worried that the concentration is on the first segment, which is the police, and other people are having it nice to do whatever they want to do when they're not looked at. But I don't think we're there where the communities of South Africa are really singing hallelujah about the system as a whole. Much work will have to be done. How much and how long, I don't have an answer.
General, you were also the National Minister of Police when Jocelyn Smith got missing. Is Jocelyn Smith still alive?
The last question is?
Is Jocelyn Smith still alive?
This is a story of the little beautiful girl. The story comes and one goes to that place. It's somewhere in West Coast. What is that place?
Saldanha.
One goes there to cry with the parents and find out what is it. And then national commissioner, provincial commissioner, we go to see the protected parent, because the community has an issue with the parent, with mother from the very word go. From the very word go. You know, most of the time these communities can lie. Yes, they do sometimes do wrong things as a mob. We go to see this. We go to see this mother, who is in the protection of the police. The first thing she asked is if the boyfriend is safe. Okay. You know, you've lost a child, but the first question you ask is that one. The second request you make is that if the boyfriend can come and join you so that you can be safe. Not absolutely nothing about the child. Nothing. And then when you ask, this boyfriend is not the father of the child. And then you say, there is something wrong. I said, National Commissioner, what kind of a mother that will lose a 6-year-old and ask about the boyfriend first? I said, in a very light way, we'll have to find the story. What is it here? When we went to see the father, after that we went to see the father now. And the father said, my story is that the mother knows what happens. This is the father now saying so. We went to see the grandmother, and the grandmother said knows. And then I think that was the angle from the police that followed. But I must also commend the community of that area. I've never seen such a formidable, united community around the matter. That community pushed everybody for something to happen. Then this theory of investigation, it was say the child has been kidnapped. It was about Inyanga. I'm sure you know what Inyanga is. It was about Inyanga, Muti, and all that kind of thing. So the theory of Muti, then the child should not be living once it's for that. A person was found to say so Inyanga, selling, and all that kind of thing. I don't know where police find the information. But there was a special team, honorable member, that was sent in Heathrow to search a boat, to search a ship. I think it took about 2 days searching that ship because somebody said she was put in that particular ship, but that ship was found in London or in Europe, whatever port where it was. And the child was not found. When one went there, community raised the issue again that police were a little bit like lackadaisic approach in dealing with the matter. I said, when this community is so much active and so much involved, police can't take a reverse gear on it, go to it. And indeed, there were many police searching and all. It's where we were together with your leader, working on the matter and all that. One thing that I can say, that is one matter that was worked by everybody, politicians, community, law enforcement, Abefundisi, everybody really worked on it. But the question you are asking, after all this, and the mother found guilty, I don't know if Jocelyn is still alive. I wish she would. But even if she is alive where she is, I don't think her life will be a comfortable life. Because nobody could have taken her out of the parents to give her a better life than the parents, no matter what is the social status and standard of the parents. I don't want to say I don't have a hope, but I don't have information. After the judgment and the sentencing, police said they are continuing to search. I think that should continue until we find the final understanding what happened to Jocelyn.
Thank you, General. I think I agree with you. We should continue to search and do our best. We still have hope. General, you testified that you gladly accepted to stay for free at Mr. Matlala's apartment. Please share with us, what was your experience like there?
The experience of staying there, well, it was like staying in other hotel room. No special experience. It was just hotel room as you would stay, because it forms the part of hotel there. So if it's not there, it's hired out as a room of the hotel. So it's just like sleeping in the hotel, like where I slept last night in the hotel.
So, General, that experience you had it for free.
Hotel?
That experience that's just like a normal hotel, you had it for free, no cent from you.
Yes, I did not pay.
Now, General, I put it to you that you did not have that experience for free. I
did-
put it to you that you did not have that experience for free. Someone paid for it.
Well, not that one I know.
I'll tell you who paid for it, General.
Okay.
Her name is Babita Diakoran.
Okay.
She paid for your free stay with her life.
Okay.
In your testimony, you say you know Mr. Matlala very well. When the evidence leader asked you, do you know Mr. Matlala? Your first response was, very well. Twice. What do you mean by that?
Well, I would have known him almost 3 months, and I would have spoken to him. That would be the kind of knowing the man that you have seen, you have spoken to.
But does that qualify as very well?
Well, it could not qualify very well. Maybe in the reflection, very well would have been an overarching kind of a term.
So you withdraw very well.
Very well would not stay. If I need to withdraw very well, definitely I'll take very well out.
Okay, General. You testified that you never, not once, sent text messages on WhatsApp to anyone. Is that true?
I stand by that.
Stand by that. Are you 100% sure, Honorable Minister?
I stand by that.
You testified that you only called Mr. Matlala 10 times. Is that true, or is it less or more than 10 times?
That was on a day. That was on one day, but I don't know how many overall.
Okay.
But definitely, as Honorable Member Julius, Honorable Member Malema said yesterday, 250, I would say not 250.
Not 250. You are 100% sure it is not between 200 and 250.
It definitely would not make that number.
What number would it make?
I don't know the number.
Honorable Sals.
I know the day's number.
May we please take Honorable Malim?
Minister, did you call Kat Matlala when he was in prison?
Absolutely no.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. You may proceed, Honorable Sals.
Thank you, Chair. General, have you ever asked Mr. Matlala via text to buy you a vehicle, an SUV perhaps, or maybe an armored vehicle?
Are you asking if I ever text him that?
Yes, sir.
Honorable Member, anybody who tells you that I've texted him or her is not speaking the truth. I stand by that,
You are 100% sure, Minister.
120% sure.
General, who introduced you to Mr. Matlala?
It's Mabonga. Bongani.
Sorry, Minister.
It's Bongani.
And how do you know Bongani?
I know Bongani because he's a son of Spotla, who was a taxi operator at Nongoma.
Was it The first time you met him,
Matala or Bongani?
Bongane.
No, not Bongani, but it's not the first time I've met him.
So let's use the words you withdraw just to try and gauge how you knew him. Do you know Mabonga very well?
Bongani, I was not meeting him for the first time. I know his father very well rather than I know Bongani as a son, but I know him as a son of Sputla.
Do you know the level of knowing him? Do you know that he is or was a notorious shooter? He shot people. Did you know that?
I know that he was once arrested for violent conduct, and I knew that he had a security company.
But did you know
But
that?
I didn't know that was notorious of shooting people.
Do you know about the incident at Tempo nightclub in Sandton where he just shot in the club? Did you know
No.
about that?
The incident of shooting I know is when he was shot in a restaurant in Sandton. I don't know the incident where he was where himself shot, but I later did hear that was a shooting in a club, but I heard that after he has been killed himself.
He has been cleared.
He has been killed, yes.
There was video footage of him doing so, and he did so in January 2024, and you were still the Minister of Police at the time, Minister. And so because it went viral, it was everywhere, I'm sure that somehow you would have been informed about that, because it happened whilst you were the Minister of Police.
Well, absolutely. I have not seen that video, and I know the incidents after himself has been killed.
So knowing all of this,
Honorable Sals.
Yes, sir.
May we please take Honorable Breitenbach.
Thanks, Chair. I'm sorry to interrupt Honourable Sauls, but I think there's a fundamental misunderstanding between Mr. Cele and Mr. Sauls. Mr. Sauls is hearing cleared, and Mr. Cele is saying killed. So there's a problem, I think, just to clear that out.
Did you understand the point, Honorable Sals?
yes, I did, but I think the Minister should clarify if that's the case. Indeed, I did hear he was cleared, because I'm talking about the first instance and not the second instance where he was killed. So is Minister saying killed or cleared?
I think
But it's you who said he was cleared. Is it you?
No, sir.
I say
Okay,
I know
okay, okay, let's start here. The person in question, is the person still alive?
As we speak, the person is sadly no longer alive. The incident I'm referring to, the person was alive during the incident and after the incident. And that incident happened during the time that Minister was, the Minister said on that incident he was cleared, or whether he said killed.
Okay, who cleared the person, Minister?
the
Sorry,
person
Chair.
you talk about. The person you talk about here is Mabonga, is not Matala.
Yes.
Yeah. So it talks about the shooting in the club. I said I did not know about this incident. The incident I know is where there was a shooting and he was killed in a restaurant, Mabonga.
He was killed
He was killed.
or
He
not?
was shot and killed.
Not cleared.
No, killed.
Yes, so then my question was the one where there was video footage that went viral about a shooting in January 2024, when you were still the Minister of Police. And usually when things goes viral like that, he was dating a celebrity, so he was very well known. So there must be a way that you would have known about it. But your response, Minister, was that you, despite all those factors, you still didn't know about it.
Absolutely, I didn't know about that incident.
Okay, but you do know that he was arrested and you knew this before you met him?
That he was arrested.
Yes, for...
I knew that when I knew him. Remember, I have known him for some time because he come from KZN. I did not only know him when he was in Joburg. Yeah.
So you didn't see anything problematic with having a meeting with someone who is shooting, who's known to be shooting? And then, of course, you mentioned that you didn't know who's he bringing with you. But when you then see who he's bringing with and establish who that person is, you still felt comfortable to remain with them?
Which shooting did I know? The club shooting?
The one for arresting that you knew about?
Well, I didn't know that shooting you talk about went viral and dating the celebrities. I don't know celebrities. I'm not a celebrity myself, so I don't know. But I know that he was arrested for violent act. You say that was a shooting that he was arrested for. I know he was arrested, but I did not know that that was for shooting. And I say I knew him long before he came to Johannesburg. And indeed, is a person that, knowing the father, I would still speak to him.
I will accept that, Minister. In your ministerial budget, your budget speech on the 11th of July, 2019, you said 119.8 million was spent on deployments for Operation Thunder in the Western Cape and 18.5 million in addition for vehicles to Western Cape anti-gang unit. Yet gang-related deaths are increasing, and you quoted Justice Daniel Tulare, who states that the evidence shows that the 28 gang has captured SEPs on the highest levels and public prosecutors. So what reason would there be for putting so much money in something like that when there's totally no change?
Okay. Well, the chair is not here. I want just to take a step back on Mabonga before I come to this one.
Yes, sir.
You say I still spoke to Mabonga when I know that he was in prison.
No, I didn't say in prison, Minister.
What did you say?
Knowing what he's doing, and then afterwards meeting Mr. Matlala and getting to know what Mr. Matlala does, and you still continued a relationship with them.
But I said I know Mabonga that was arrested. That's what I said. And then you say on top of that, I still met him.
Correct, but I didn't say...
Because I want to come to you to say, but many of us here, we have spoken to people that have been in prison.
Absolutely, but when
that
you...
includes you.
Indeed.
Yes.
I do speak
then it can't be a crime to speak to somebody that has been in prison.
I never said it's a crime, Minister. Okay. But what I am angling the question to is that your stature in society, who you are, what positions you held, you meet the persons on the first time. Then you find out and know what the questionable issues are. Me, who meets people who went to prison, come to prison, if it is questionable, I'm not going to continue a relationship with them to the point of taking favors from them, and so on. So it is from that angle that I come.
No, thanks. The point I wanted to make, and I've made it, is that it's not only me that meets person that has been in prison. That's the point I wanted to make. And you and me were concur on that point. So let's come to the question.
No, Minister, we can't move from that point. We must be very clear that the issue is not meeting with people who's in prison. It is meeting with people who is actively involved in crime.
Well, that's a new statement.
But that's the point we were making. Like you said in your testimony before, context and content. I was not dealing with verbatim.
No.
But I'm saying the content and the context that you and I are talking about is not just meeting someone who has gone to prison. It's about the activity of the people, and you know about it and continue the relationship.
The statement I made here is that I know he was in prison. And the question is that you still meet that person. I say many of us here, we have met people that have been in prison.
Okay, you still continue to have a relationship with the said persons.
Well, it's no more now.
Matlala is still.
Matala was not in prison. I don't know Matala in prison. We are talking about Mabonga. Why do you mix them?
No, as you continue, you say you then get to discover more about Mr. Matlala. And if Mabonga was still alive, you would still have had the relationship with him.
Who are we talking about?
Both.
Oh,
And we have been speaking about both.
no. We have spoken about Matala. So of late, we have been speaking about Mabonga. All the explanation of him killed, shooting and all, it has been Mabonga. So if he's still, your last question, if he's still alive, I would be still speaking to him. I don't know.
Can you remember me asking you, how did you meet Mr. Matlala?
Yes.
So we were speaking about Mr. Matlala right from the start, and then the connection, which is Mr. Mabonga.
No. It was separated. We did finish about Mr. Matlala and then we came to Mabonga.
But we spoke about both.
Well, so you say. That's fine.
Minister,
Can I go back to the question you asked of the...
please.
The question says why I would put that money to these operations.
When there's
The
clearly,
question-
when there's clearly no change in terms of gangsterism, and you quoted a judge saying what's currently happening, that gangs has infiltrated the judiciary and SEPS. So that means over 100 million invested has not changed the situation in the Western Cape. Why would you continuously justify putting so much money in that particular program?
I guess that money is even far more now, Honorable Member. I don't know if that question says, and it means, don't put money at all there and let them kill one another. Because the question said, why do you continue to put the money? Honorable Member, there is no way that we can continue to put the money and have an effort to stop that thing. I just imagine when the minister or the national commissioner goes to the community and said, look, I've put 100 million here. You continue to kill one another. I'm putting no million, kill yourself. It can't happen. We keep putting the efforts on the matter and finding the ways they can work, including putting the resources in that particular thing. And I don't think the day will come when we say because there is crime, people kill one another, we stop having an effort of stopping that.
I am definitely not suggesting not putting money in to stop people from dying. I am saying when you assess that where you've put so much money is not assisting, the situation is just getting worse, consider taking that same money and putting it into something that will actually stop the killings across the country. Let me make an example. If you would take over 130 million, Minister, you testified that to train, fully train, one member in the special task force will cost an estimated 1.1 million. Now, if you take that 130 million and put it into training, specialized training, you could train 115 members will come out in a year, specialized training. If you do the same with the budget asked for the PKTT, invest it in that, we end up with 250 specially trained members in SEPs nationally. Now, if you send 250 specially trained to deal with these gangs, would you not think that there's perhaps a possibility that we can deal with it? That's the angle I'm coming from.
I love your bravo theory on this matter, but it can't work. It can't work. You must remember that not once we have sent soldiers in Western Cape Flats. Soldiers, not police. They were requested, we sent them for some time. Come the COVID, we sent them. They did not stop the killings. And honorable member, I don't know if somebody has given you what is a special task force member. That, I call them human machines. They are never issued with rubber bullets. They are never issued with rubber bullets because it's not their job to deal with the public at that level. They don't just go there to deal with the complaining people, including the kids on the streets and all that. It has been done in the Western Cape. You know, one thing that we'll have to do in the Western Cape, again, is this book. She knows very well next to you. If you come to Western Cape, honorable member, we've got two wells. Two wells. All my life as a national commissioner and the minister, I've never picked up a dead body in Constantia. I never pick up the dead body in what is that? Bay? Camps Bay.
Minister, respectfully, just very quickly, I have about 15 minutes left, Nacha. I just want to check. Sorry, Minister. Okay. So, Minister, because I have 20 minutes, respectfully, if we can keep the responses concise, okay, I'll appreciate that.
But I would love to simply say...
No, by all means, I'm just saying let both of us work together.
Simply say, this book also speaks about the environmental design. I'm sure you have been in the Cape Flats. I'm sure you have been in Khayelitsha. That place does not accommodate a respect of a human being. When to be in Western Cape, some areas when you go to Delft, when you go to the place called COVID-19, I'm sure you have been at the place called COVID-19. So those things will have to be fixed so that people, they live as people and they feel as people. It's the only city where the toilets were made the handbags. Here. They were given poti the handbags that you carry the toilet as you go and release yourself. So the kind of the life of blacks and coloreds in Western Cape is completely different from you and me we experience when you go to Constantia as we go to Camps Bay. And that's why maybe don't pick up the dead bodies there, because their life is a life of human being rather than going to Hanover Park or Delft.
Minister, yesterday you testified and you said when you were talking about losing 56 members to the taxi industry, you said, I spoke to Ntlantla earlier. Did you mean you spoke to General Mkhwanazi earlier yesterday, or did you mean earlier some other day?
Earlier leading to the understanding of losing of the members of Special Task Force.
So it was a previous day.
3 years.
No, previous. When was it?
Did you say 3 years?
Previous.
Yes, previous. I think this thing of talking about bringing them back home is a thing within a year back.
In a year back. Okay. You testified that you are scared, that thing scared you when you saw 23 special operatives that Matlala has hired, and you saw 56, or you heard about 56 that we've lost to. You said that thing scared you. Now, if a former national minister, a national commissioner, and minister of police is scared, we need to know why, because that must be very important. So just concisely, why did it scare you, Minister?
I'm scared that the private security company capabilities are about to be equated or be more than the state capabilities when it comes to these forces. So that's what scares me, and it should not be allowed to continue to happen.
So these forces, these members that comes from this force, who's the commander of that special task
Those
force?
that are outside,
Those that are inside, those that are outside where they come from.
they come from the special task force.
Who's the commander?
I think the commander of the special task force now will be Major General Zulu.
Who was before?
It was Major General Kumalo. Before it was Mkhwanazi.
So these members comes from a unit that was commanded by first General Mkhwanazi, General Kumalo, and now General
Zulu.
Sorry, Minister?
Zulu.
Yesterday, in your testimony, you said Commander or JZ Msholozi is my commander. Why did you say that?
Because he commanded me.
So you still consider him now as your commander?
He's not commanding me now.
So why
He
did
used
you
to be.
why did you say that in the present tense? He's still my commander.
He's not. He used to be my commander.
I'm just
Well, I'm not an English speaker, maybe I made the English problem. But he used to command me, but he doesn't command me now.
okay. Is that a military stance? And that's not what I heard yesterday, so I wanted to know, would other members, these members who goes to the taxi, would they still consider these three commanders as their commanders, even though they're not part of the SEPS unit anymore?
Well, you can't consider a person who does not command you to be your commander. You're only my commander when you command me. And then you are my previous commander.
All right, so you say that you would support, or you support the inquest into Mr. Muzitembe's daughter's death. Why do you do so, Minister?
No, I didn't say I support the inquest.
What did you say, Minister?
I said the information I had is that the police had a solid case, but the only thing, the prosecution refused to enroll the case. And I said, I even went to the president and I said to the president, President, your Minister of Police might do something funny to go and support the private prosecution because the prosecutor refuses, but also refuses to give certificates so that private prosecution had happened. And I said, that case now is having the inquest. That is my information. And the person that is doing the inquest is asking the question, why was this not enrolled? Because it's an obvious case. So, but I did not say, what I said I would support was a private prosecution.
For the inquest, or that involves or would result into an inquest.
There is no private inquest.
The private prosecution, that will be the result.
Honorable member, private prosecution comes this way. If South African prosecutors say they can't prosecute, they don't see the case, they must issue the certificate for you and me to go and get the private prosecution. And then there is amount of money that we must pay for private prosecution. That's the money that was paid by Lulu Winberg for Umsholo's, that 500,000. So you pay that money. After paying that money, then there is a private prosecution continues. But if you don't have certificate, you can't go for private prosecution. I'm saying, I said, President, I would support private prosecution. The only thing that is not happening is to get a certificate from the prosecutor that could not enroll. So in exchange must give the certificate, of which also was refusing. So we're just stuck in the middle.
I understand that, Minister, but I was referring to the end goal. That's one step towards that goal. But let's move on. Who arrested the hitman on AKA?
Who arrested?
The hitman.
Is a team that was put together.
Which
by-
team? Is it the PKTT?
No,
No?
no.
Yet he was killed in a 5-kilometer radius away from the head office. And they were arrested close to 1 year later.
The head office does not arrest. Even if he was killed in the head office, would not have been arrested by head office. But the team was put together, and then the team did the good job.
Yet there was a team there, specialized team, in a 5-kilometer radius that can go all the way to a different province. They could not deal with that there, right there and then.
Where was it? Which team was that?
The PKTT is there.
Where does it sit?
They are there
Where?
in KZN. So what I'm saying,
Headquarters?
where Umkwanazi's office is,
No. Get your facts straight.
what is the facts, Minister?
The facts, they've got their headquarters in Pinetown.
Is it in KZN?
Yes, but in Pinetown, not headquarters of the police.
But is it in
Headquarters of the police
KZN?
is in the CPT.
Is it in KZN?
KZN is not a capital.
The point I'm making, and this is the fact, that it happened in the province where the PKTT is supposed to zoom into. A hit happens. A different team nationally needs to be put together to go and deal with that murder. A high-profile murder that is just kilometers away from where they are based. But in other matters, they are ready to go to a different province. That's the point I'm making.
Your imaginary fact, that's not a fact. You say it's a fact, it's imaginary fact.
Okay, help me, Minister. Let's test if I'm
It's an
imagining.
imaginary fact. You started by saying there were 5 kilometers in the head office. You should have asked the question where they're based. They are not based 5 kilometers. They are not in the head office, where Vermas, where the head office of the
Are
South
they
African
based in
Police.
KZN?
KZN is not a headquarters, it's a province.
Yes, I know. And that's where the PKT focuses. I'm asked, where did the murder happen? In KZN.
Chairperson, can I get healthy questions?
Honorable Souls, let me take Honorable Nomval.
Yeah, no, my apologies, Honorable Source, for interrupting. Honorable Minister, no, for my understanding and for my records as well, what was the competency of the PKTT in this sense? Was it only designed to deal with political killings which are only related to political killings? I know that at some point they were requested to go and intervene in Forterre, but what was the actual competency? Were they only dealing with political killings or with any other murder which occurred in the province? That is my follow-up question. Thank you.
Was designed, Honorable Chair, to deal with political killings. But in their work, Honorable Member, pursuing the political killing, they will be led, let me put it this way, they find that I've shot and killed the councillor, but I've killed a taxi person the other day. They would not let me go to say, now we're stopping to arrest you because you have also killed. But their focus of work and their mandate was to deal with the political killing. And then other kind of killings would have the work of the South African police. Sometimes other kind of killings, they would be specialized, like the AK one was specialized. There was a special team that was put for that.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm okay, Chair. We can move on.
That is my understanding. Is it correct, General, that the acronym PKTT stands for Political Killing Task Team?
Yes.
Okay.
Chair, if the question that you just asked is to insinuate that the matter we're talking about doesn't fall under political killings, then we then need to ask of the other matters. But the point here is the General says, Pinetown, I'm dealing with KZN. But fact is, even Pinetown is in a 30-kilometer radius from where the murder happened. And the point I'm trying to make is that they're so close. It's a murder, high profile, deal with it and arrest people. But they can leave to a different province to do the same thing. But we can move away from that, General. I have, I think, about 5 minutes left, so let me jump a few questions. The members of the Special Task Force, you mentioned that taxi bosses would have employed them. Are you able to tell us which taxi bosses?
No, I don't know which taxi bosses. I know that it's taxi industry that employs them.
In a sworn affidavit, a statement by investigating officer Kumarasan Pillay, the state prosecutor Elvis Gweka, told Durban Magistrate Court that Bright Circle, a company owned by, I hope I say this correctly, Khaba, allegedly paid 800,000 to the bank account of Mziwetemba Harvey Mgobani, one of the suspects, on the day after AKA and Motawane was murdered. Do you know about this?
Yes, I've heard that.
So there's a connection between this big taxi owner and the murder of AKA.
Did they say the taxi industry or a particular name?
I also didn't say taxi industry.
What did you say? Repeat that.
Mr. Khwaba. 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 Mr. Khwaba.
Msizenbu. They must help you, eh?
Chair must pause for the rehearsal. Khwaba. 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 Is it Khwaba or Khwaba?
No. You know, when we welcomed you here yesterday, you remember I gave an apology on behalf of my members that if you come across one addressing you as Tele, you must just accept because it may take us time if we try to click the tongues. What you the pronunciation you have made, Honorable Souls, is the best you can try. Let's proceed.
So the person that then finally, the team that was put together and you were there, Honorable Minister, who was the commissioner or the deputy commissioner in charge of putting that team together to make that arrest?
The team was made by provincial commissioner.
It was not the national team, you said national.
As young Soyel. Young Soyel. The team that arrested AKA was a provincial team put by the provincial commissioner.
Okay. The Special Task Force of 59, the Special Forces of 23, I'm told in military terms, and you can help me there, Minister, is like a platoon. We've already heard by your testimony that these private security, they have helicopters, they've got armored cars, they've got bulletproof, they got weapons. I'm going to ask you a very honest question, Minister. If for some reason this group of people has to go in a fight with our SEPs today, who will win?
State will win.
The state will win. You said yesterday you were so scared because if you think about 59 against 20 from SEPs, it will never work. Why were you fearful?
They are not special task force in the police now. They are not 20.
You said if you had to send them,
Yeah.
would they win? Because I think the point you wanted to make was that you fear
No,
that they are getting stronger than the SEPs team. That's the point you wanted to drive home the whole time yesterday, that you are worried.
and I added that it needs to be stopped.
You are worried.
And I added that it needs to be stopped. I'm worried and it needs to be stopped. Hence, I said I made the efforts with the National Commissioner to take them back home, which is the process that is happening.
Minister, thank you very much for your time. I want to say that every single one of you, whom we respect greatly, must take responsibility that the state of affairs in SEPS today, all of you have contributed to it. And it's all of your responsibility to fix it for South Africa. Criminals have spotted this weakness amongst you. That weakness is division, to the point where they put and place yourselves against each other. They saw that weakness. They become informants to each of you about each other. You're no longer there. But I think as a senior, as a veteran, push harder to break this division, because criminals are taking advantage of that, and it's making our security vulnerable. And communities are suffering, our children are getting missing, our communities are turning into war zones. We need to fix this. We can't police corruption, General. But I want to say that what's going to happen, there's a spiritual shift. The light in this country is getting stronger, and whatever happened in the dark is going to be exposed automatically. My message to every whistleblower, everyone that's standing up against corruption, don't seek to police it. Just make your light stronger. Don't seek to kill Judas. Judas will hang himself. Thank you, Chair.
I nearly
Thank
said,
you
I nearly
so
said
much,
amen. I nearly said amen.
Hallelujah. Thank you. Honorable members, we're taking a comfort break. We are coming back at 11:30. The next speaker is Honorable Sangoni. Thank you.
Thanks, Chair. We wanted to check why is Julius going to hang himself?
Who does?